Okay, great. We're recording now, so everyone welcome. Hello, my name is Kathy Burrell, and I'm the Client Service Coordinator here at WeBC. And I want to begin by acknowledging that the land that we're gathered on today is the unceded territory of the Syilx people in the Okanagan here. I invite you to write in the chat on whose traditional territories that you're joining us from. If you're not quite sure, Netta is going to post a link and you can check out where you are and what traditional territory it is. I also want to remind everybody that we'd love to hear from you here at WeBC. If there's a topic that you'd like us to consider doing in a future webinar, go ahead and just type in the chat at the end of our webinar when we do a feedback poll. We love your ideas. You know, we want to provide you with content that interests you. So anyway, thank you very much for that. American Sign Language interpretation and closed captioning are provided today. To view the closed captioning on the webinar screen, click the live transcript in the Zoom menu at the bottom of the screen, and then select Show Subtitles. To view the closed captioning on a separate screen, please follow the link posted in the chat box. Netta is going to put the link in the box. And for the best experience, it's recommended to view the closed captioning on a second screen in full screen mode. So we hope everybody is managing to view the session today the way they like. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we offer here at WeBC. We provide support for your small business journey. We offer financing to get your business started and operating capital to fuel your growth. We offer more flexibility than traditional lenders because we take a holistic approach and provide loans based on your business viability, not based on formulas. This means we provide loans to a diverse range of women-owned businesses and support you with integrated services, including something very special, complimentary training, mentoring, and business advising for the entire term of your loan with us. Our mentoring programs, in our mentoring programs, you can connect with a network of women entrepreneurs and experts around BC who can support and inspire you. And you can learn more about our services at our website, which is we-bc.ca. And we'd love you to sign up for our eBlast newsletter. You just get one newsletter every month with a list of all of our programming, and it's very easy to sign up right from the website. And believe me, we have such a great bunch of offerings for the entire rest of the year. So we hope you'll join us. Okay, let's get to the meat of today's session, which is today's webinar. Today we'll be introducing the Innovation for Defense Excellence and Security. The acronym is IDEaS program. IDEaS is a Department of National Defense program that connects Canada's toughest defense and security challenges with creative thinkers, such as all you entrepreneurs joining us today. And it provides them with the resources and guidance that they need to bring creative new solutions to light. Today, we're going to talk about three things. Mainly, we only have an hour today, but please contact us with any questions. First of all, we're going to talk about the structure of the Innovation for Defense Excellence and Security program. Next, we're going to talk about different IDEaS funding mechanisms, and that's always important. And lastly, but not leastly, we're going to talk about the actual application process, because that's important as well. So for example, are you interested in greening up the military, protecting marine life, or finding ways to recruit and retain women in the Canadian Armed Forces? Do you have great ideas on ways to innovate with language retention? All of these challenges are current and past opportunities with the IDEaS program. Our speakers today are going to tell you everything you need to know about the IDEaS program, and we're so thrilled to host them today. First, we're going to hear from Alexander Emish, who is a policy analyst with Procurement Assistance Canada. Next, we're going to hear from Eric Fournier, who is the Director General Innovation for the Assistant Deputy Minister, Science and Technology. And last but not least, we're thrilled to host Julie Angus, who is the CEO and co-founder of Open Ocean Robotics. So I'm going to throw it over to our three panelists to do a little 1-minute introduction. So Alexander, can we start with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, WeBC, for giving us this opportunity. Folks, my name's Alexander Emish, and I work for Procurement Assistance Canada. I've been doing that for around 3 years. Procurement Assistance Canada is part of Public Service and Procurement Canada, and PAC is what our nickname is developed to help you navigate federal procurement opportunities. So if you own or operate a business and are interested in selling goods or services to the Government of Canada, Procurement Assistance Canada can provide you key information about how to do business with the Government of Canada and some tools to get you started. I'll pass it back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Alexander. And next, we're going to hear from Eric Fournier. Eric, can you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. So good morning, and thank you for having me today. I say good morning because I'm in Ottawa, so it's mid-afternoon, it's bright and sunny, so it's a bit different out west. So good morning again. Eric Fournier, I've been with National Defense for 30 years. I'm a scientist myself, so I did research for 17 years before turning into the dark side of management. And then in the last few years, I've been managing the innovation for national defense, but as well as being the lead for that program, Innovation IDEaS, which we launched in 2018. I'm not going to go into it. I've got 20 minutes to talk about that, so I'll keep that for then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. And last but certainly not least, we're going to be talking with Julie Angus. Julie, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here and to be able to speak about our company and participation in the IDEaS program. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Open Ocean Robotics. We're a Victoria, BC-based company that produces uncrewed surface vehicles or autonomous boats or robot boats, as my 7-year-old likes to say. And we use them for a variety of ocean data collection so that we can better understand and protect our oceans.
Wonderful. All right, without any further ado, I am going to turn the session over to Alexander, and I will see you later. Thank you, Alexander. Go ahead.
No worries, and thank you so much again for the opportunity. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the branch I'm part of. So Procurement Assistance Canada, or PAC, was created as part of PSPC, Public Service and Procurement Canada, to support smaller and diverse businesses in the federal procurement process. So our role is to engage with businesses, to assist them, and to inform them on how to sell their goods and services to the Government of Canada. And also, we work to reduce procurement barriers in an effort to ensure fairness in the process. So folks, the reason we do this is because Government of Canada is one of the largest buyers of goods and services in Canada. We buy a wide range of goods and services each year, with contracts valuing from a couple $100 to billions of dollars. And the Government of Canada believes that competition in the buying process brings out the best value for money to Canadians. And more than anything, it is important that all procurement activities are conducted in an open, fair, and transparent manner, and that all suppliers have an equal chance at doing business with us. There are many tools available to support you in doing business with the Government of Canada. And feel free to contact us if you want any clarification about those tools. We're more than happy to assist you. You can get started by visiting our website at buyandsell.gc.ca, where you can find information about our services, register for upcoming webinars, and access self-serve resources that can help you through the procurement process. So feel free to reach out to us, to contact us. We'll be happy to help you in your procurement journey. With that, I'm going to pass it on to Eric.
So, as I mentioned, good morning. And I think my slides are going to be shared. And then I will start. There we go. So, Innovation for Defense Excellence and Security, or name IDEaS, is an access to innovation program. So, the National Defense, a few years ago, decided to set aside funding, a fairly large amount of funding, $1.6 billion, to reach out to work with innovators, as many of our partners in other countries have done. So the United States did that in 2014, the UK and Australia did that in 2016, and in 2018, we launched our own program. So really, I want to talk to you about opportunities, because IDEaS is that. We have funding, we have interesting challenges, and we're asking innovators to work with us to solve those challenges. So it's an Access to Innovation program, announced in 2017. It took us a few months to get organized. We launched it in April 2018. So we're a little bit older than 4 years old. So we're still vibrant and happily young. As I said, 1.6 billion over 20 years. So it gives us about between 80 and $90 million per year to connect with innovators. And the beauty of this program is it's for all innovators. So the small, medium enterprises, the big industry, academia, the non-for-profit, municipal, territorial, provincial entities, Joe in his basement. I mean, everybody but people like me, or Alexander for that matter. Everybody that works for the federal government cannot profit from this the funding that we have. Next slide, please. So the 4 words that start this slide, your ideas, our support, are really the basic thinking about the program. We're here to work with you to see if your expertise, your knowledge can help us solve our major issues that we have, our main problems that we have. And our support, because we have developed this tool called IDEaS, and you'll know a bit more about it in a few minutes. And we're helping making that connectivity between us and you. So that's your ideas and our support. Yeah, next slide, please. So how does it work? Well, we work on challenges. So we identify challenges inside of national defense, and it could be anything. We've had challenges in the past on recruitment of women, on PTSD, how to manage PTSD, on advanced material, on cyber defense, on space. Anything that you think could be of an issue for national defense, we have launched challenges in, or are planning to launch challenges in. So you'll see even some more here: network security, drone technology. Those are all things that we've done, and we keep doing, because right now we have, for example, 4 open challenges on our webpage. So we've launched 69 so far, but we'll get into that in a minute. So very much defined by ourselves. So we are the ones generating those challenges. Not my team, not the IDEaS team, but the people we work with. So the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, people who really need those solutions developed for them. Because it's important for us that we don't launch things that don't have any future. So we're talking about real priorities, real needs, and real challenges that will lead to solutions that are going to be transitioned to the Canadian Armed Forces. And I'll talk about that at the end of the presentation, because we have some cases already where we see some of those transitions. Next slide, please. So the program really has 3 pillars. The first one, an obvious one, we need to make sure that people know that we exist. We're an innovation program, so we need innovators across Canada, as I said, from all of those types of innovators, to know that we're there. So that's why we do these events like today. Like yesterday, I was in Montreal for Expo Entrepreneur, and I was talking about the program. And we do that day in, day out, all year long. And we have people like Alexander to support us to do this. We want to make sure that as many innovators as possible know that we exist. So now that we got their attention, the second pillar is finding those solutions. So we have developed tools. We'll get into that in a few minutes, where we showcase our challenges to innovators, saying, hey, if you can solve this, make a proposal. And then we work with those proposals and we advance those solutions. So we have 3 tools that we have developed to develop solutions. And our third pillar is to validate those solutions. So we have 2 tools that we have developed to showcase, to demonstrate the solutions that we have developed with our innovators. So our full process is being done here. Now, an important point that I've just mentioned, it's our challenges. So our challenges are web. So our program is web-based. All of the things that we do happens on our webpage, IDEaS Canada. This is where we showcase our challenges when we open some. Like right now, you can see 4 challenges on that webpage. All of our results are there. All the contracts that we were awarded are there with the name of the companies, the amount of money they got, the title of their projects. It's all very transparent. At the same time, you'll find a description of the tools that I'll talk about in a few minutes. So it's all there. So I invite you to have a look at it. Now, while you're on that page, I also invite you to register on our webpage to be one of our innovators, because we're only asking for your email address, by the way. But IDEaS is not known to launch challenges once a year. We launch them irregularly because when we have some challenges that are ready to go, we launch them. So for example, a few weeks ago, mid-April, we decided to launch 4 of them using our tool called Competitive Projects. And at the end of May, there's another challenge coming up on robotics and artificial intelligence using another tool called Contest. So if you register, you won't miss, because when you're on our list, you get an email saying, hey, by the way, there's a new challenge. There's 4 new challenges that have been launched. Have a look. So because they're not open very long, open 30 to 40 days. So sometimes you can miss them. So next slide, please. And again, I'll come back to innovators that can participate, because for us, it's important. We want to make sure that people know that they can participate in 2 IDEaS. So this slide says what I was saying earlier today. So the small, medium enterprises, the big industry, the academia, all of the people that can have an idea, that have expertise from their daily life, that can apply that expertise, those ideas for solving things that we have. It also mentions international. IDEaS allows international to make proposals in the program as long as they partner with Canadian participants. So there's some rules that exist in the program for that. Next slide, please. All right, so what is IDEaS? Well, the first 2 parts are the top and bottom of this slide. Very, very important. D&D CAF priorities, Department of National Defense, Canadian Armed Forces priorities. As I said earlier, our challenges are that. They're important questions, problems, issues that exist in national defense that we take, transform into challenges, and put them to innovators for them to help us solve them. So it's very important that what we launch are priorities, because I want to make sure that there's something that comes out of it. Now, the bottom line as well is very important, defense capability. IDEaS is not going to be evaluated on the number of contracts we award or the amount of money that we spend, but really on how much defense capability we bring to the Canadian Armed Forces, to make sure that they have the tools to deliver on their mission. So those 2 parts are very important. And in the middle, you have the 5 tools that we have developed. Why 5? Well, for 2 reasons, really. We go from the beginning of an idea, so a spark in somebody's head, until the end product. So it's a very long process here. And at the same time, we also have 3 funding tools. We can fund using contracting, we can fund using contribution agreement, and we can fund using what we call granting, so grants. So it was hard to mix all that together in only 1 tool, so we ended up with 5. Next slide, please, and I'll go a bit more into the various tools. So as I was saying, 85 million approximately per year, between 85 and 90 million. If in some cases we need a little bit more, we can always ask, and so far it's been, the department has been great providing us with that extra funding we need. 5 tools. The development tools are the first 3: competitive projects, innovation network, and contests. Competitive project is a tool that we use 2 or 3 times per year. It's the easy tool. It's a contracting tool. How does it work? Like all of the other tools, it works with a challenge. So we have a challenge, we post it on the internet, and we tell someone, if you can solve this, why don't you make a proposal? Proposals are very simple. You'll see it's a template that you fill in. We get many proposals for every challenge that we launch. On average, between 40 to 70 proposals per challenge. We evaluate, then we select many. As Alexander was mentioning earlier, in this specific case, IDEaS, we don't always select 1 winner. We select many because we're interested to see so many solutions. So in some cases, the maximum that we have done for competitive project was 15. Competitive projects got 2 phases of funding. The first phase, 0 to 6 months, up to $200,000. The second phase, up to a year for $1 million. So we start many. So we started with 60, 70 proposals. We select a number between 5, 10, and 15 that get the first phase of funding. We let them work. They work for about 6 months. Then we stop them and we say, okay, so what have you done? How advanced is your solution now? We'll look at their solutions and we identify the game changers, those solutions that are going to change our lives. And we select those, 2, 3, 4, and those are invited to continue their work, and we get more funding to them, up to $1 million, and they continue working on their solutions. So that's the process of competitive projects. So fairly simple and fairly quick as well. The second tool, Innovation Network, we have some specific challenges that require research to be done for a long time. What we have 3 right now that are live. Advanced material. So obviously material is always a domain that requires research to be done. Autonomous system, the link between the human and the autonomous system, and 5G that we just concluded the competition for. So those domains, because they require research to be done constantly, and we ask people to focus their effort towards defense and security, those challenges are a bit different, and we award them a larger amount of money to do science for us. So we again start with a challenge. If you can do this, make a proposal. But in the case of Innovation Network, we ask them to come with friends. Innovation Networks, you need, as the name says, network. Build the network to make your proposal. Bring some academia, bring some industry, not-for-profit, make a group of people working in that domain and make a proposal. So, and we fund those networks, call them micro networks, so they're small networks. We fund them for 3 years, up to $1.5 million, and then we keep working on them. Just as an example, one of our micro network on material came from British Columbia. It was UBC, Okanagan, UBC, Simon Fraser University, University of Alberta, and 2 companies from BC, one with a name that everybody recognizes, Lululemon. So Lululemon is working in one of our micro networks. Our third tool for developing solutions is contest. No, it's a competition. We say, here's a challenge. If you can do this, compete with the other innovators and show us you have the best solution. And there's a funding, there are grants, so there's money at the end. Now, we change gear a little bit for the next 2 tools. A sandbox is really a demonstration case. So we do, here's a challenge. If you can do this, come and demonstrate to us. Come and show us how you would do this. And we built whatever is required to do the demonstration, and people come and showcase their solutions. We have done 2 of those, one out west on counter-drone technology. So we had built the environment for the test to happen in a large area on a military base with sensors, cameras, radars, drones that we had our own drone fleet, and people brought their solutions to detect and defeat drones, and we had missions flown, more and more complex mission flown against them, just to learn how their system worked. And the last one is test drive, further out to the development process where we have almost a final product, where we tell the innovators, we will buy your solution. We'll buy a case of your solution. We'll buy we'll buy the code, we'll buy and then we'll transfer it to our CAP-D&D partners and say, go and work with it for a number of months or a number of years even. So this is IDEaS. Those 5 tools together makes the whole program. The next slide, please. Now, the next slide is a very important slide for innovators, as it is about intellectual property. So I don't want your intellectual property. It belongs to you. It's very important for innovators to maintain that. So it stays with you. Now, as I'm paying for the development, we to get a license, what they call use and have use. It's something that is always there in government contracts, and it's just a license that we take on that work that's been done. We really care a lot about innovators and their intellectual property. We even ensure that the Canadian Intellectual Property Office comes and gives training sessions to our innovators to make sure that people understand what it means to have IP, what it means to protect it, what it means to work with it. So very important slide here. Next slide, please. So what have we done since we launched our program 4 years ago, a little bit more than 4 years ago? Well, we launched 69 challenges, as you can see here. Committed and spent 244 million. So that was 2 weeks ago when I was building those slides. It's probably higher than that. We have more than 6,200 innovators that are on list, our mailing list. So it's growing every month. And then an interesting number is the 540. So more than 540 entities, so innovators, have received funding from us. More than half had never worked for defense before. Now, one number that's not there, we have received more than 3,000 proposals on our 69 challenges. So pretty happy with that. Next slide, please. On this slide, there's two parts that are very interesting. On the right side shows that we're getting solutions from across the country, the 10 provinces. One thing that we're missing is the North. Although I've gone to Whitehorse and Yellowknife a few times, we still don't have proposals coming from the North. Hopefully one day we'll get some proposals from up there. And then on the left side, the fact that really our innovators come from all, like the ones working with us, come from all the type of innovators we have in Canada. 55% of our proposals and contracts are with small medium enterprises. About 15% are with big industry. About 25% are with academia. 5% not for profit, and the rest of the percentages are only with individuals and a few straggler like this here, like the final numbers. Next slide, please. Now, specific slides for BC. So the first one is about the overall region, how much funding has gone through this region through the various call for proposals that we've had. And you can see that from our various calls, you have a constant number of people in British Columbia getting funding from us. So very happy, $44 million. It's a hefty amount of money. Next slide, please. And that's the one that I asked my team to build based on this specific presentation. And I didn't even know those numbers until the slide was built a few weeks back. So 18 contracts were awarded to 17 women-led business by IDEaS, 4 in British Columbia. And 6 businesses were 100% female-owned. So, and through our various call proposals, as you can see. So you can see that although we don't have a set aside, so we're not specifically targeting women-led business or other entities, because of the size and the number of calls that we have, 69 so far, we hit everybody, and we're very happy that we're supporting these women-led businesses. Well, I'm saying supporting, it's not true. We're working together to develop solutions for Canadian Armed Forces. So they are working hard to make sure that we have great solutions. Next slide, please. Now, pandemic, we're still living through it. I mean, I live in Quebec and we still have to wear a mask until 2 weeks from now. It did slow down our team. We focused on paying the innovators that were working for us, kind of slowed down on a number of calls we had, but because of the tools that we have, we worked with the Public Health Agency of Canada, Health Canada, National Research Council to say, what can we do? What can we do to help the country? So at the beginning, we founded some companies that did decontamination of masks. Remember when the started in 2020, masks were a prime issue. Then we worked on some innovators to develop fast testing, and we also launched those 4 challenges. Next slide, please. Now, after 4 years, we are starting to generate solutions going back to national defense. That's our aim in a way. So I'll go through some of them right now. So our first one, and that's what I was saying earlier. One of the challenges that we launched, detection and classification of object of interest. So using the tool called Competitive Project. And you can see on the left there, how many innovators we funded for the first phase of the award. So 15 of them were awarded up to $200,000 to start developing their solutions. And after 6 months, we stopped them and said, okay, let's look and identify the best ones. Well, 4 of them had solutions that were amazing. And we said, okay, let's give them up to $1 million, up to a year. After that year, our partners in the Canadian Armed Forces looked at the solution and said, well, this one from that small company called Ecopia, we want to be able to work with it, to test it, to bring it into our units and work with it. So okay, I said, we'll go with them, ask them how they want to work with us, and then we'll put a test drive in place. Well, the company got a contract for $5.8 million and is now working with National Defense to transfer that expertise and make that first sale of a product to us. Next slide, please. Now, the same thing is happening with a company from BC, TerraSense, the same process. So a challenge was launched under a title called What is in this full motion video. 10 innovators were funded up to $200,000. 3 were awarded up to $1 million. And that company is getting a test drive, almost signed, for $10.5 million to transfer their solution to Canadian Armed Forces. So success from the West Coast. Next slide, please. I'm almost done. Now, life challenges, we have 4 right now. If you go on our webpage, you'll see those 4 challenges. And I'm sure that because of the Pacific Ocean on your side of the world, the last one there, under the sea real-time detection of marine mammals during sonar operations, will be of interest to some of the people in this group for sure. Next slide, please. And it is my last slide today. So there are others, but they're part of the deck, and I think that the organization will share my deck later on. So we'll stop it here for today. So call for proposal. We've just released 4 challenges. They're open until May 30th or May 31st. So please go have a look. Maybe you have something that you can submit to us. We just because we're working on greening a lot, awarded a fairly large contract as a test drive. So really building something to see if it works. So that challenge was to take a building on a military base and come up with an idea to heat it in the winter, not using fuel, not using carbon fuel-based solutions. And the company, one, is getting an $8 million contract to build a system outside of the building. They're not allowed to touch the building, and then to come into the heating system of the building itself. So we'll have to see lots of potential there for that one. Upcoming contest towards the end of May, a robotic and AI contest. So a mix of robotics and artificial intelligence. As I said earlier today, we had a sandbox in 2019 on counter-human aerial system, counter-drone technologies. It worked very well, and the Air Force asked us to do it again. So we're doing it again this fall. That closed, the call for proposal closed about a month ago, and we're ready now to make the selection and to go forward. Now, I'll stop it here, and I think I'm right on time for the agenda. So I'll go back to Kathy now.
Thank you, Eric.
Sorry. Oh. I think I'll go to Julie.
To Julie.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that overview of the IDEaS program. And from my perspective, I'd like to speak about the role the IDEaS program has had in helping us advance our technologies and, address some challenges that the military put forward. And we participated in the competitive project that Eric spoke about, that stream, and received the 1A challenge for that. And I guess before I talk about that, maybe I'll just go a little bit back and tell you the story of our company and how we founded it, and how competitions like this are very important for startups like us. So I co-founded this company almost 4 years ago, I think, just shortly after IDEaS first launched in 2018. And the reason that we created Open Ocean Robotics is we want to provide solutions for protecting our oceans. And at the heart of that is being able to understand our oceans, because the reality is that collecting data from oceans is extremely challenging. Our oceans cover 70% of our planet. They can be very harsh. It can be dangerous to go on them, and collecting data is, as a result, very challenging. There's risks associated with it, and in many cases, it's not sustainable. There are environmental impacts of collecting ocean data. So for me, my background is in science as well. I'm a scientist, but I spent much of my career exploring the ocean in small boats and writing about it, producing documentaries. And one of those journeys was rowing across the Atlantic Ocean, where I spent 5 months traveling from Portugal to Costa Rica. And let me tell you, there is no better way to really experience the vastness and the remoteness of the ocean than being in a small rowboat. And it also really crystallizes all the reasons why we don't understand our oceans. So for example, we were hit by 2 hurricanes during that crossing. It was a very unusual year. So, Open Ocean Robotics was formed to overcome those challenges by using robotics, our robot boats, our solar powered vessels that can stay on the ocean for weeks or even months at a time, collecting data that is critical to understanding our oceans, protecting our oceans, and operating sustainably on them. So it really started as a project in our garage 4 years ago where we started to build these boats. And then we realized, well, this has the opportunity to really impact how we understand our oceans, and our technology has advantages for that. So we grew the company by applying to competitions, and we started to win competitions, and we got money, and we could hire co-op students at the start, and we started to develop our technology that way. So the first money into our company was non-dilutive money that allowed us to advance our technology. And then we ended up raising investor rounds, which helped grow us farther. So I think, programs like IDEaS is incredibly important for companies of all stages, but in particular for startup companies, because they're looking at advancing very early stage technology, the challenges from TRL 1 to 6. So this can be instrumental, non-dilutive money into your company to help you get your technology to a stage where you can get more traction, more interest. And not only that, but you're targeting a very specific need. I mean, you're answering challenges that have been put forth by the customer. And if you can address that through this process, as you heard Eric say, there is the potential to have multi-million-dollar contracts from this. And I think the other interesting thing about IDEaS is that, for us, this was the first time we ever worked on a defense contract. Nobody in our company has a defense background. We didn't really think about advancing our technology for that market because we didn't know how to enter it. And this provides a very accessible way to enter this market. It's not classified. We are guided along. Throughout the IDEaS program, we worked with an integrator within the military who we could speak to about the technology to ensure that what we're doing is in line with what they're looking for. So you have that direct contact. You're creating awareness about the military, and you're learning the process as you go along. And I think looking at developing commercial technology for dual use applications like this is very valuable. It's valuable to companies, and it's valuable to the defense industry as well. So our project that we won, it was called It's Not Just Noise. And it was about detecting things underwater. So we have our robot boats, and we can have a lot of different sensors on them. And for this project, we put an acoustic array, which is like a microphone for the water, and we could listen for things. So we can hear marine mammal vocalizations, we can hear vessels. And that obviously has relevance for the Defense Department in terms of detecting, underwater vehicles, also detecting marine mammals. For example, you can see one of the open challenges right now from IDEaS is marine mammal detection, and that is important for their sonar operations to ensure that they can protect the marine life. But that same detection also has relevance in the commercial world. And so we've worked in marine mammal detection for the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. We've worked for the offshore wind industry. So we are getting, a lot of benefit from addressing a defense need, having the money to advance our technology, being able to keep our IP, and then also, using those advancements to address other markets. So from our perspective, IDEaS is a great program. It's accessible to companies like us. The application process is not particularly onerous. It's a fairly short timeline from when you apply to when the decision is made. And then the process in working through it. So the first project was a 6-month project, and there was a milestone midway through, so we could report on the advancements we had made till then, get feedback from that, and then have another 3 months to complete it. So it's a pretty short timeline, but it allows you to really advance, get feedback, and get some traction, and then potentially move into future projects. So yeah, from my perspective, I guess that's a very short overview of what IDEaS has meant to us and how we've participated. And I should also say, sort of stepping back from a global perspective, I do now sit on a NATO advisory board for the Maritime Unmanned Systems Initiative, which is a multi-country initiative to get uncrewed or unmanned assets in the ocean to be able to monitor and provide protection for a number of different areas, whether it's security, whether it's the risks of climate change, whether it's illegal fishing. And there is, a global recognition of the value of dual use technology. So really targeting commercial companies like us to be able to address defense needs, because commercial companies are driven by multiple markets. So the technology advances and iterates in different ways than perhaps if it was purely defense. And then I would say the other thing that we're really seeing is the greening of the defense and of industries everywhere. So being able to, ours is a solar powered boat, so it has no emissions, but really robotic technology it has very low emissions compared to a vessel or an airplane. So looking at technologies that can allow defense to operate more sustainably, more safely, more affordably, and addressing, their needs with innovation. So thank you for letting us share our story.
Wonderful. I don't know about you, but man, that was a lot of really beneficial information for, I think, everybody on the call today. And we're going to kind of throw it out to do a bit of questions now. Anybody that's on the call, if you've been dying to ask a question, please unmute yourself and ask, either panelist, or go ahead and type it in the chat and Netta can ask them on your behalf. But yeah, we've got about 10 minutes for questions. So I'd like to thank, Eric and Alexander and Julie. Wonderful. So questions, anybody?
And Kathy, if you don't mind, maybe we'll just start the first question just to ice break. So this question, I guess, is for both Eric and Julie. What is the first thing someone should do after leaving this webinar regarding the IDEaS program? What is like the first step they should take? So I'll go for Eric first, and then I'll send it over to Julie.
First thing, go see our webpage. Everything is on the webpage. That'd be the challenges, and as Julie was mentioning, we have 4 that are open now, and the one on marine mammal protection is one of them. But everything is there, as I mentioned earlier. Like those challenges that are open, the few challenges coming in the future as well. The tools, a little more explanation about each tool. So if you said, oh, you talked about a contest, well, how does that work? You'll find it there as well. So to me, go there, register on the mailing list so you don't miss challenges, because they come fairly quickly, and they closed as well. We've had cases of people coming to us and saying, oh, by the way, are you guys going to work on this? Yeah, it closed a month and a half ago. So it has happened to me. I'm sorry, it was not fun for them, but so you don't miss that. So that's, yeah, go to the webpage.
And let me rephrase that question for Julie. Julie, what was the first thing you did? How did you even learn about this? Did someone talk to you? Were you just scanning the web? What happened?
Yeah, I think maybe I subscribed, so I received an email when the challenge came out. So I would definitely recommend doing that. For us, the first thing was, we really read it through, what they were looking for, what the requirements were, how it was scored, and thinking about what you're going to propose for that specific challenge, but also as the ultimate solution, because you have to recognize the 1A in these challenges, it's the first step. So thinking about how you can use that first step to demonstrate that you can hit the milestones to meet, the challenge's ultimate goal, and then give yourself enough time, because, probably if you're like me or most entrepreneurs, you have so much on your plate and you're probably going to leave it to the last minute, and then you might have challenges submitting it, because I do remember that it was a bit challenging at the end to submit it. So make sure you give yourself some time at the end.
And I see that Devin has a question. Devin, go ahead.
This is the interpreter. I'm trying to pin Devin, but oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, ready. Hi, all. Nice to meet you all. And I'm curious. I have a couple of questions because I'm very I'm intrigued by the website, and as it relates to innovation and it relates to challenges involving language. Let me just check really quickly. So there was one about innovation with language and language retention, and I clicked on that link, and then I saw that there were 3 different companies that were in competition for some things involving AI. In other words, like AI as it pertains to human language and education and so on. And there's OVA, and then or Innova and language training. So I was looking through that, and I think that there's some meat there. There's something interesting to where there's something that we can make a proposal rather, or even network with them and link up, join forces in that way.
So, so go ahead. Is it the interpreter? Are you? Is that it?
One second. Thank you for waiting.
Okay.
So I'm making sure that these are the companies that are already on the list. In other words, that insofar as I can collaborate with them or contact them.
And Devin, what you've done is what we see a lot of innovators do. That challenge launched in the past, so it's closed. We launched a challenge. Many proposals were received. We selected a number of companies because of their solutions, their innovations. And the ones that you see there are the ones that were selected for a first phase. I'm not sure if we're at the second phase for this challenge because of 69 of them. I don't follow all of them at the same time, but some of them go to the second phase, which is the 1 million and keep going. But we see many innovators like you going and checking and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, those guys are doing this. Their project is this title. Huh? Maybe I'll give them a call and see if we can work together." And we've seen cases like that where small, medium enterprises get a $1 million contract. It's challenging. A $1 million contract, you have 1 year to deliver on that. And we've seen many small companies getting together and saying, "Hey, I'll do that part, you do that part, and we can submit a proposal together." So great move to look at the site. However, this challenge is closed, but yeah, you can contact them anytime. That answer your question, Deb?
So then, to be clear, if I wanted to collaborate with them, is there an indication listed on the website about how many phases there are in total if it is a multi-phase situation?
Right now, if they are there, that means that they are in their first phase. When we're done with, so first phase is up to $200,000, up to 6 months. Then the number of companies listed will change, because at some point we'll stop the 6 month. Selection is going to occur, and new ones are going to, well, they will continue. So for example, if you have 3 now, at some point in the future, you'll probably have 1 or 2 only with $1 million, and those people will be working. We post them when the contracts are signed. So when you see them there, it's when they started, and then as long as they're there, they're working, and then after that, they go into the other phase.
All right, so then if so the next phase, it represents a gain in funding, correct?
So yeah, what we do is that we use the innovation funnel. So many proposals. So then we select the ones that we think are interesting for that first phase. You've seen some cases of presentations, in some cases up to 15. And then we come to after the 6 months, we stop. We look at the solution and say, okay, maybe 3 or 4 of them are very game changers. Then we'll keep working with those and give them more funding, more time. So it's really that funnel where we reduce, focus slowly towards our solution, and be providing them more funding.
Okay, great. Something to discuss with my team. So thank you all.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
So I was going to ask Julie a question, because this is something I hear when I talk to suppliers. How long did it take you to write your proposal, let's just say A to Z? How long was that process? Because federal procurement, it can take a good amount of time to get that proposal written. But for your first phase, or however it was, how long did that take you?
Yeah, it was within a week. So it wasn't, one of those lengthy periods of time. And when you look at how long the current challenge is open for, it's open for just a little over a month. So, these are not intended to be overly onerous projects. So, for example, we're considering applying to the marine mammal detection one right now. And so we're evaluating the requirements. I'm talking with my team to see about what would we want to propose, looking at other companies that we might want to collaborate with, because as Eric mentioned, it can be hard for a startup to do everything themselves, especially if you do move into that 1B, which is $1 million to spend in a year's time. If you don't already have the staff on board to be able to execute on that and to shift your resources towards that, it's good if you can collaborate. And of course, I think we do have a lot of innovative companies in Canada, but we can collaborate globally as well. So it's a valuable way to look at it. So in short, I'm planning on making some decisions over the next week or 2 about what we're going to put forward, and then it's going to be actually writing it. And so if you can aim to write it with at least a couple days before it's due, that would be my learning point from my previous one.
Great. Julie, or the panelists, I was going to say we've got about 5 minutes left. So I think, thank you very much, Devin, for the question. And thank you all for your insight. And it's been a pleasure. I just want to thank you again, Alexander, Eric, and Julie. I think the information that you shared today could change some people's lives. So, wonderful. Thank you so much for participating. And we'll make sure that we've got information so that everybody, if there's other questions or any queries, that we make sure that we can reach out to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both, or all. I just want to let you know that we've got a few things coming up. A WeBC, May 31st, we're doing a session on navigating Canada's free trade agreements. There's not just one, there's a few. We're doing a maximum marketing minimum effort session. And again, marketing is always so important for a small business. And again, we welcome you to sign up for our e-blast newsletter and be informed of these and participate. So Netta is going to launch a little feedback poll. And as I said before, if anyone has any ideas about any webinars that you'd like to see, we'd love to hear it. And please, the little poll just tells us how we did today. So thank you very much for that. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been a fantastic session, and I hope you got something out of it. And goodbye, everybody. I mean, thank you very much for the poll. And thank you for joining us. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.